So, I know I'm a young upstart who's filming in front of a window, but hear me out. I don't know about where you guys live, but here it's getting cold really fast and dark, so winter coat. If you'll remember from my last video, I inadvertently promised to do something Frozen related in the near future. I'm sure all of you were tearing your hair about it, but worry not. This will be pure, unblemished Frozen. If you want to see my other half-breed video where I compare Elsa to a character from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I will link that in the description. I am the Flighty Fairy. I flit from one fandom to another, and today I will be talking about the highest-grossing animated movie of all time, Frozen. With a sequel coming out in a year or so, I figured I had to set the record straight. Anna most certainly does not have fire powers. I honestly don't know how this theory got so popular. There's like very little evidence for it and a ton against it. Let me break it down for you. According to what I've seen on the internet, there are 5 main pieces of evidence for this theory being: Elsa has ice magic, fire is the opposite of ice, Elsa's magic is probably hereditary, Anna has red hair and is seen carrying a torch a couple of times. Yeah, we could take these one by one. Elsa has ice magic. Yeah, okay, sure, check. Fire is the opposite of ice. I think that's generally accepted, though there's not really a scientific reason that I can think of. Yeah, okay, water is the opposite of fire. I guess ice is water? Anna carries a torch and a fiery blanket that she throws at the wolves, but all the members of Belle's provincial town carry torches in Beauty and the Beast, and I don't see anyone saying that they have powers. As for Anna having red hair, well, I mean, you could argue that it has a reddish tint, and any hair that has a reddish tint is usually considered red, but I mean, there's this thing called auburn, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I always just thought of her hair as mostly brown. Now, if it was red, you might have something there. I mean, look at Elsa's hair. It very clearly reflects her powers. And we know this for a fact because both Elsa's parents have dark hair, and for her to have such blonde hair, both her grandparents would have to have virtually white hair, and if so, why is her parents' hair so dark? Basically, we know that her powers influenced her hair color as well as other aspects of her appearance. Now, if we were to apply this to Anna, The problem with this is that Anna's hair could very easily be naturally occurring, as it's very similar to her dad's. And while it does look a little redder than his, this could very easily be explained if, say, one of the grandparents had red hair. Am I taking this too seriously or what? Welcome to the channel. Now that we've got the hair thing sorted out, let's get into the all-consuming question, shall we? What is the meaning of life? No. How did Elsa get her powers? Honestly, there's no way to really know. Maybe Frozen 2 will elaborate, but as of right now, it's anybody's guess. The most likely option is that it's hereditary, possibly passed down throughout the royal generations, as we see they seem to have a pretty good knowledge of it, as well as a working relationship with the trolls, who have obviously seen this sort of thing before. And that begs the question, if Elsa got her powers through her genes, why can't Anna have them too? And this is a valid point because there's not really a super good reason why it couldn't be. I mean, Anna comes from the same parents as Elsa, so equal opportunity genetics, right? Well, maybe not. It seems that if this kind of power is hereditary, it is very, very, very rare. I mean, neither of the sisters' parents have them, so we assume. And based on the crowd's shock when they saw Elsa's powers be revealed, I think it's safe to say that they hadn't seen this sort of thing in, well, yeah, it didn't really look like they'd ever seen anything like this. If the ability to manipulate the elements is so rare, what are the odds of 2 siblings having that kind of magic? It would be the equivalent of 2 purple-eyed kids being born of 2 brown-eyed parents because their great times a million grandmother, who was the wife of Noah, had purple eyes. So not likely. And that's just the beginning. If we look at the way that Elsa's powers matured, we can see that Anna showed none of the signs that she did. Elsa had been doing magic since before she was 8, and at age 18, Anna still didn't show any kind of signs of power. When they were little and Anna wanted Elsa to make her a snowman, she said, "Do the magic," which seems like a weird thing to say if you could do something similar yourself. Why didn't she just go bowling with a fireball or something? Yes, she could have just wanted to play with her sister, but the whole scene just seemed kind of to say pretty clearly that she didn't have any kind of power herself. If she did, I think it would have played out really differently. There are a ton of other instances where having magic, even if she wasn't aware of it, would have helped out a lot, like freezing to death in the woods, or trying to convince Elsa to come back and being chased by Marshmallow, or without a doubt, in the room that Hans locked her into. She was literally dying and almost caused her friend to melt just because she needed him to light a fire. If she had any sort of powers, I think that would have been the time for them to kick in. While she might not have known that she had them, if, say, Elsa got a particularly strong dose and it isn't normally so powerful, it still does react to emotions, and I think that a near-death experience would be the thing to trigger it. Also, why did she not know about them at age 18? I'm pretty sure she had another near-death experience right here. And let's not forget the time she was unconscious with the trolls, and to save her, Grandpappy says, "I recommend we remove all magic, even memories of magic." The thing everyone remembers about this is that he took away her memories of Elsa, but he also says, all magic, probably referring to the magic that she got in her head from her sister, but could have also unintentionally included any other magic she might have had buried somewhere. Even if it was in her genetics at some point, I'm thinking it's gone now. Probably the biggest piece of evidence against this theory, though, comes from the movie itself when they address this very issue. After Elsa's powers are revealed, the Duke of Weselton asks Anna suspiciously, "Is there sorcery in you too?" To which Anna replies, "No, I'm completely ordinary." If she had ever shown any sign of power before this, I'm pretty sure she would have mentioned it then, at least to Hans. Well, that's the end of that video. I hope you enjoyed. Wait, what? Have you forgotten the other loophole for powers in Frozen? You don't have to be born with them. While it might be clear that Anna doesn't have any powers of any sort in the first movie, it is not impossible for her to have them in Frozen 2. When the royal family comes to him, Grandpappy asks if Elsa was born with the powers or cursed. Cursed? Is it possible? Actually, yes, there is a possibility that Anna could be cursed with powers in the second movie, either by her sister, why on earth would she do that? Or by some other person in the Frozen world. Now, it has been confirmed in the I don't really count these canon books that there are other magical people in other kingdoms besides Arendelle. Maybe Anna could be cursed by one of them to have fire powers? I still don't really think it's likely because we already have a character with perfectly useful magic as far as storytelling goes. In my opinion, it just doesn't really seem like the direction they're going to go, especially because there was no foreshadowing in the first film. On the other hand, we don't really know anything about Frozen 2, despite what rumors may say, so really anything could happen. Write your fan fiction, draw your fan art, post it in a comment on this video. Anyway, this is really the end now, so I hope you enjoyed. If you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, and if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to see me debunking another theory, I will link my Why Galadriel and Gandalf Are Not Shipped video in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Later, Frozen fans.